A very good morning to all of you. You're watching Karan's channel for Palmistry. Today we are analyzing the future Prime Minister of India, Mr. Yogi Adithyanath ji. You can see his palms as I zoom into his things. I would want you to observe things which are very unique. At the same time, know his leadership and his talents as to how he has used it or is going to use it in the future, since he is destined to be the next Prime Minister of India after Narendra Modi ji. Though we have Mr. Amit Shah, also a leading contender for the Prime Minister's chair. I will be doing a separate video on Mr. Amit Shah, and I will show you the comparative display of the two leaders who are potentially capable of reaching or becoming the next Prime Minister of India. Now, as I told you, you can see this finger. This is the index finger, we call it as, but this finger represents the leadership qualities. This hand, if you can see the length of the hand in relation to our ring finger or Apollo finger, which we call it. Apollo finger is ruled by the sun. You can evidently see that this hand, that is this finger, is definitely smaller in size in relation to his Apollo or ring finger. People with longer Apollo finger will definitely take more risk in their life. Not that his leadership qualities are any less, since it is just marginally ahead of his Jupiteran finger. You will be knowing on Yogi's style of politics is bulldozer techniques. He has taken very good risk in his capacity as the Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh. So, if you remember, I had shown you the difference between Narendra Modi's Jupiter finger and thing. Narendra Modi had a balanced viewpoint in terms of his leadership qualities and his risk-taking capacity, whereas Yogi Adithyanath is a person who takes bigger risks. So, if you ask what is the risk factor or the success rate, if you can see his palms, that is, he's got a very thick and a square palm. A square palm indicates that he is extremely hardworking, and if you see all his mounts, almost all the mounts are well developed. This is his Mercury mount, which is fully developed. You can see this is the Mars, outer Mars. This is the Moon. This is the Venus mount. This is the Mars mount, the inner Mars, and this is the Jupiter mount, whereas this is the Shani and the Surya mount. You will find that these two are reasonably developed, whereas every other mounts are extremely well developed, very prominent, and you can see the size of his fingers, which are very thick. All fingers, if they are thick, indicate that they are extremely hardworking. People with extraordinary abilities to work longer hours and who have the risk-taking abilities will be able to be more successful in their ventures, no matter how risky it is. The fact that they are they persevere and do it again and again makes them that much more successful. If you had noticed the fingers of Elon Musk, even Elon Musk's ring finger, that is the Apollo finger, is definitely longer than his Jupiter finger. He is the man who has taken the risk of putting spacecraft into the space. Other than NASA and other government organization, he is the only individual who has taken us to the outer space, where he dreams of sending people to Mars on vacations, which looks very, very too much in terms of the way he is projecting, but there is no other person closer than him who can achieve that dream. Whereas even Adithyanath is capable of taking India to greater heights, because he will be the Prime Minister of India at a very crucial point in history, where we will be witnessing one of the third world wars, and he will steer India from the doldrums and the difficulties that can arise due to the full-blown world war. So potentially he is the right person, and technically he will be able to prove that he is one step ahead of others in the race towards the prime ministership. You can see that his outer Mars and inner Mars are extremely well built and puffed up, which shows that he has got the courage and conviction and belief, inner belief, not just external belief, but also an inner belief, the fact that makes here the very fact that this gut feeling will work only if your inner Mars is, if the inner Mars is strong and the outer Mars is strong. And that is the time, even if your ring finger is longer than your Jupiter finger, you will be more likely to succeed only because of your hard working and your inner belief as to what they are capable of doing. If you see his other fingers, that is his thumb finger, also indicates that he is very, very determined person. He is a very determined and strong-willed person. This part represents the willpower, and this part represents the logic. It is not very clear. I will show you in this image. See, the image of the finger, that is the top phalanx of the thumb, is willpower, and the lower part is the logical power. It has a balanced, that means both the willpower and the logic are well balanced, which is a strength which actually enhances his risk-taking capacity to the ability to have a belief in himself, is also the reason for the chances of him achieving greater success. If you can see in this thing here also, in this, his Jupiter finger is smaller than the Apollo finger. His middle finger is straight and thick. All the fingers in his hands are thick and strong. So which actually, the one negative or so-called negative thing is, this is his heart line, and you can see it is a little darkish in color, which indicates that he is actually a very sensitive person by nature. But if you see his headline running down, you can see he is a very practical person and a very clear thinking personality. So this strong headline, which is well balanced, is also an added factor for his risk-taking abilities or to achieve greater success. you can see the M formation, which is a sign of, this is the heart line, the fate line, this is the headline, and this is the lifeline. The clear M is a definite indicator of him achieving huge success or popularity. You can see the triangle formulation here in his hand, the fate line, headline, and the Mercury line. All three are joining and creating a very good clear cut triangle. It is the money triangle, which shows that, which is the second sign of him achieving good success in money matters. So here all the factors are leading to suggest that he will take over as the next Prime Minister of India. Of course, we have his left hand here, which is also a paramount, indicating that it represents his inherent abilities, his inborn gift when he was born. All the mounts, including the thumb finger, see, the Jupiter mount is well built, the Mercury is well built, the outer Mars, the moon, the Shukra, that is the Venus mount, and the inner Mars, all are extremely, only these two are a little developed, but they are not as developed as the other planets. So he has got many planets which are in good position in his astral chart, which is actually helping him. He, being a monk, will has also given him the ability to focus on things that he wants to do. So finally, as I try and conclude this, you can also send your opinions or viewpoints on what I have now spoken about Yogi Adithyanath ji. There are other lines which are not so clear, so it will be difficult for the viewers to identify or to explain it from a specific point of view, but all the signs that are visible in this photograph or the image of Mr. Yogi Adithyanath ji is indicating that he is going to be our next Prime Minister of India, who will be leading from the front and showing he can take us to the next level. That is, India is in a process of becoming one of the superpowers, and it will be the credit will go to Mr. Yogi Adithyanath ji, because he will be applying his leadership and his other qualities to take India and move India to the next level possible. Thank you, one and all. Have a nice day.